Hi, you've probably already read the brief introduction to Storybird, so here's what the page looks like. Um, it's pretty simple. It's actually very simple. This is your stuff up here, all your saved stories that you write, your bookshelf of your favorites. You can become a member, of course, as a teacher or as a student or as a regular user. You can follow stuff. You can have your bookshelf of your favorite stuff. I don't have anything here because I haven't read a lot. So as a teacher, the first assignment that I would use this for would be, of course, for writing. And so you click on the write sections. Again, very easy to use. You can search by tags if you're interested in something about food. You can go to dinner and you can get food stories or whatever. But you see all these random artists, these various artists from all over the world. I'm assuming contribute their work, and some of it is actually very very good. And every time you come to this page, it's refreshed, so it's fairly random. So if you have a favorite one, be sure to save it because it might not be there the next time you come back. It might not be on the first page. So this looks pretty interesting. So if you, as a teacher, you assign, a writing assignment for a student, if this looks interesting, they could click on this. They could use just this single image for the prompt for the short story or a poem or whatever. Or if you go down here to view all, you come to this page, and it's all the same artists, and they all seem to be thematically linked. But what I like about it is that although it's thematically linked, the student has total flexibility to write the story however they choose. Really, these are just prompts. So obviously, there's a forest. There's this woman. It looks like a Red Riding Hood kind of situation. You don't have to use the goat. You don't have to use the axe. You don't have to use anything really. You can pick and choose. So it's really neat. I think for students, uh, creativity is hard for all of us. Creativity is very, very, very hard. And these kinds of prompts give students a way into their own creativity, a way into their own story and the possible stories that they can write, as opposed to just cutting them free and saying, okay, go ahead, you have to be creative now, you've got 50 minutes to do it. This is a good place to start. So they can write it as long as they want or as short as they want. And they could publish it online, and there's peer editing. And there was somewhere I saw, I can't remember where it is now, but there's a place where you can actually, oh, I think it's, yeah, I started to make one, and when I started to make one, there's actually a little feature that says you can invite a creator or invite someone to help you write it. So this could be done as peer work as well. I wouldn't recommend group work, but peer work might be kind of neat if you have two people that work together well. So yeah, it could be used as a free writing assignment, a daily free writing assignment, as I will post on my wiki, or it can be used as a major, unit, or the end of the unit towards the end, a scaffolded storytelling unit. Another way that I saw that this could be used is as a kind of critical thinking, editing, proofreading kind of critiquing exercise. We live in the age of fan fiction and self-publishing. Stories now are not merely the preserve of the big publishing houses. Everybody's doing it. And of course, most of what's out there is not very good stuff. That's just the nature of anything that's created. It's not all professional. It's not all, genius is rare. But in this era, if somebody loves Twilight or if somebody loves Harry Potter, they're going to want to gobble up as much fan fiction as possible. And they're going to be reading a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it's not going to be very good. And it's not very good stuff is good to read because it gives you an example of what not to do. When we read professional writing, there's not as much to critique. It's kind of there. It's well done, and it's not might not be perfectly done, but it's well done, and it's hard to see what is not very good about it. If students are asked to read through a couple of these during a semester, they can see imperfect writing and they can more easily critique it. So they can see, oh, wait a minute, why did this guy say this and why did that guy say that? And I don't understand how we got from point A to point B, or something's missing. They can see that more easily in amateur writing, and I think that's a good exercise for students. I find it useful to read stuff that is not that good once in a while because it reminds me of how good the good stuff is. Anyway, so there's also poetry. Very quickly, you can click on poetry too. So there's also that. So that's how it works.